Hello everyone, we're trying to hack a security company as part of a CTF challenge, and we were able to gain access as Martin using a leaked private key. And today it's all about privilege escalation. Let's get started. Alright, we are Martin. Remember from the previous episode we were able to leak the private key. I'll be publishing the links of all the parts in the description box by the end of the challenge, so make sure to subscribe. But essentially, we tinkered a little bit with some logging prompt, and then we were able to access the user as Martin. Just to give you a real clear idea, when we SSH, we are prompted with a secret password. It was flawed and we've patched it in the previous episode, but it can still be bypassed. What are the different processes that are running here? So we have Apache that it's owned by www.data. The others are owned by root, as you can see here in this column. We have Cron here. Let's list the sockets. So we have port 22, SSH, and we have a random service listing on this port. We don't know what it is yet. We have what seems to be SMTP. We have some ports here, but nothing really interesting. What else? Cron tab -L. No cron for Martin, no problem. Let's go to /home and see. Oh, we have 3 users as expected: Hattie, Jimmy, and Martin, the employees of the security company. What do we have in each one of those? Using the recursive option in ls. So we gained access to Martin. That's obvious because we're already Martin. But we also have access to Hattie's folder. Okay. Well, before we go into Hattie's, let's go to our own folder, home folder, and read what do we have in the mesh history. Yes, see it anyway. So we have the mention of the login Python script as before, and we have sudo su. Okay, can we run sudo su directly and escalate to root? I'm not sure. Seems like Martin knows the password of root because he's using su space root, and he will be prompted with the password of root. We have the file that is moved to key.txt.png, and it's stored under icons. And yeah, nothing really interesting here that would allow us to perform escalation of privileges. But I'm just curious to know if sudo su would work. Sudo command introuvable, command not found. Okay, so su root will prompt us for the password of root. We don't know it, obviously. So, okay. Under the .ssh, we only have the authorized keys, which is used to authenticate ourselves using the private key. What else? Let's go now to Hattie's home directory. What do we have here? We have bash rc. We have gdb history. Oh, this is interesting, but unfortunately, it's only readable by root. And these are folders like buff overflow with 2 C files and some bunch of text files. Let's go one step at a time. First of all, I'm going to read what is buff.c. Seems like a buffer overflow vulnerability to me. So in the main, we have a bunch of comments, and if the argument is less than 2, have the help menu. Otherwise, we copy, using the stir copy, the content of the argument into my buffer, and my buffer is 50 bytes long. Okay, this is a clear indication of a buffer overflow vulnerability. The question is, though, how is this script invoked? I mean, if we run it ourselves like this, buff 1, 2, 3, 4, I get the content back, but it's me who is running that. I mean, by me, I mean Martin. So even if I get a reverse shell or if I achieve a remote code execution using a buffer overflow, the privileges would still be the same. I'm not sure if this is defined in a cron or something. Let's see. ls etc and then grep for cron. Do we have anything under cron etc cron.d? Nothing. What is this placeholder? Yeah, this is just a default folder file there. Okay, what else? What about cron tab file? Oh, we have something here. Jimmy is running every 5 minutes a Python script under temp security.py. So what do we have under temp security.py? Oh, aucun fichier ou dossier, or no such file or directory. Okay, so why don't we create one? Well, why did I look for cron? Yeah, to see if this buff script was executed somewhere. I don't think so. So let's go with the flow and try to create that file under temp security.py. So vi temp security with k .py. This is a Python script, so what I can do is run an operating system command. If you recall from a previous challenge, we've escalated our privileges using the same technique, so I'm just going to replicate that using the OS system to run the same command as before. So what I have done in a previous challenge was that I just copied bash, and let's just put it in temp and call it Jimmy. And using a semicolon to separate commands, I'm also going to change mod and set it as a SUID. You know what? It could be better if I just type in the content of the private key, or rather public key. So the public key is already inside the home directory of Martin. So what I can do is copy from home martin.ssh authorized keys and put it directly in home jimmy.ssh. We suppose that we already have a folder here, .ssh, under Jimmy's directory. So what I can do, just to make sure, I'm going to create that directory. Home Jimmy and .ssh, semicolon. Just to make sure that the script has run, I'm just going to create a file under var and let's call it Jimmy. So if everything goes well, the file should be created. It's just a dummy file to say that, to know where the script has been executed so that we can SSH. And then the script would go ahead and make sure or create the folder .ssh under the home directory of Jimmy and then copy in the same key, the same file, authorized keys, from Martin's folder to Jimmy's. So if everything goes well, we should get something under temp. So ls temp Jimmy should have something. I'm so lazy, I don't like to run a command multiple times to just wait for the Jimmy to be created. So I'm going to leverage the while loop and ls temp Jimmy. If it's created, then we will see it and we will sleep for like 1 minute. And I just forgot that I didn't do a do keyword here. So it's going to run. Oh, I'm sleeping every second. It's supposed to be 60 seconds. So once the script gets executed as the Jimmy, then we will see a file there and then we can SSH directly. So let's give it some time. Go fetch a coffee, a cup of tea, or maybe just stretch your legs. It shouldn't take long, 5 minutes, and I'll see you then. And the file has been created. Let's check the SSH access now. I don't need the while loop anymore. Let's exit from the prompt of Martin and let's retry now with Jimmy. And voila, we gain access as Jimmy on the box. I wonder what do we have under that user. Oh, we have an SUID script that is owned by root. Seems like a great way to get root. And this is what we're going to do in the next video. If you've liked this one and learned something new, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the ring bell to receive the next video once it goes live. As always, stay curious, keep learning, and go find some bugs.